This is a 7-round tournament, so players are starting to filter out the 3-0s, having their sights on the top 8. This is a $1,000 prize pool tournament, the HEX Bash, happening weekly. All right, I've got a round 4 match with 2 players that are 3-0 going into this round. In today's match, can Cyriius hold out against Mustachemagic?
Righty-ho, what do we have here? We have Cyriius versus Mustachemagic. And we have a Cottontail Explorer, Double Crusader, and Seeker, and 3 resources against a Porvyazkan, Lackey. What is that card?
That is Grim Harvester.
Okay, that explains why I didn't recognize it. That is a Grim Harvester. Okay.
Sacrifice a troop for 1 resource, deals 1 damage to each opposing champion, and it's got Life Drain and Swift Strikes. You'll gain a health. And he's also Cyriius also has Plague Root the Hollow as his champion. Deathcry summon 2 Blight Blossoms. Is there a plan here to sacrifice a lot of troops and splash some diamond to this Deathcry?
A little bit of reach in there. A little bit of reach. I'd imagine that we'll see some necrotics for sure. Interesting. See how it goes.
I think I see a little bit of this combo starting with this first draw from Cyriius. Cyriius picks up Spiritbound Spy. Doesn't have diamond to play it yet, though. With this Plague with the Hollow Power.
Crypt Dust is definitely a real thing here.
But Mustachemagic, Kagalichu. These Underworld Crusaders are going to be coming down soon.
Still no diamond, but things are getting played regardless. The Lackeys here, the Crusaders down, and the setup for the poor is not too bad either. Interesting choice with Plague Root. I never, like, I was always a big fan of the interaction between Spiritbound Spy and Madam and Nana. Plague Root is definitely an interesting one too.
1 more charge, but gets you 2 Blight Blossoms instead of the Flight Spiritbound Spirit.
The Crypt Dust, that means the diamond is now available. Grim Harvester can come down. As well as one of those Spiritbound Spies. See the charge power come across that Spiritbound Spy as well.
So when Spiritbound Spy is destroyed, it comes back into play, transformed into a Phantom 1/1 flight, but doesn't revert, so keeps that power. Deathcry, summon 2 Blight Blossoms. We'll go ahead and block 4 damage here. And be sacrificed to revert, making Blight Blossoms. Strangle in response to Emperor's Lackey makes it unable to block the other Underworld Crusader.
Lord Blightbug's quite interesting as well, because as that Phantom comes back into play, technically that would be triggered.
Yes.
Lord Blightbug as well. Interesting.
And if there is some way to get that Phantom with the charge power back in hand or into play, many Blight Blossoms, but 3 Underworld Crusaders.
Big damage, but what we see here is a very conscious effort to block and then sacrifice to those effects, and get those extra chumpers and deal some damage while you're doing it. Like, it's pretty good. I think it's probably the best top deck here. Resource isn't going to do it, but the poor Viaza can get some work done here, removing something from the board, but nothing good. Everything has a death cry. Opts to go for the Hierophant there, but it's not much better.
Stops it from growing bigger. You can block it. Doesn't give your opponent 2 cards. You're too far in health to get close by killing Underworld Crusader.
Our Seeker here, choosing one of all things, will take out all of those blockers, and that's really bad.
Not only that, it voids them, so no death cries there. Paw trades with a 4/4, doesn't let the opponent draw still. Mustachemagic down to 1 card.
Now this isn't bad. The trigger here will return it to hand, even though it's not in the crypt, which means that it can be replayed over and over again, for no real benefit, but it can be replayed over and over again.
Sacrificing Lord Blightbark to allow it to be played, sacrificed. Now it's a blocker, can be sacrificed at quick and played again the next turn. But I mean, there's a 5/5 flight. There's 3 Underworld Crusaders. I'll run your Hierophant now.
This would be a very, very different game if there were 4 charges on that Plague Root the Hollow, because the Blightbark wouldn't have had to be sacrificed there in order for the Death Seeker to work properly. See what we got though. Okay, Mad Progenitist is interesting. Still no 4th resource for that power though. Oh, that's a pretty good little combo there. So Progenitist triggers whenever a Necrotic comes to your hand. So returning the Death Seeker there. Just as good as drawing. Yeah, it's there's a lot going on there. I like it.
Doesn't combo off game 1. Let's go check out game 2. Cyriius playing some sweet combo. Let's go.
A shard there would have been very good, my sweet Baxter, and likely would have won the game potentially.
Chump blockers for days, recurable with the Death Seeker.
Okay.
No, that's really what it wants
Not
to
that
do.
turn. Not that turn. But if it happened while the Blightbark was on the board, it would have been huge.
Because you play it, goes back, play it, goes back, play it, goes back. All you don't even.
You're getting the Death Cry triggers on play and also when you sacrifice it too. But I guess with Blightbark out, you just get it on play and you don't need to sacrifice it.
Still would have had to deal with the Eternal Seeker at some point, though.
That's true. That's true. So what do we have here? We have Centipede, Crusader, Promiscuous Succubus, Mad Progenitist, Hero Fall, and a couple of resources. We have the Diamond, though. That is an important thing to have. No Wild, notably, but Diamond is there. And we have, on the opposing side, looks like a Rotten Rancor and a Strangle.
This is super janky, because there's a Succubus here, there's a Giant Centipede, sacrificing things, death cries. But just needs to get the correct combo pieces out to allow that. So you get a board full of things, Giant Centipede attacks, and sacrifice everything to attempt to win.
This is 3-0 though, right? Yeah. This is 3-0 right now.
This is 3-0. This has been working. But as a combo deck, does need to find its pieces. Blood Ice likely putting a resource on top to try to find a wild threshold. Diamond is taken care of through the Well of Retribution. But there's double blood enabling most of this hand anyway, so. Does find Monsagi Lily Pad. Mad Progenitist is a Shinhair, so gets that wild threshold. Has speed on Underworld Crusader.
Ooh, risky strangle there, letting the opponent draw 2. We see that well of... is it Retribution? The
Retribution.
Diamond Blood one, and the Crypt Dust, so plenty of ways to hit that diamond this time, but no diamond cards in hand. I wonder if there are any other diamond things other than the Spy and the Harvester. So we see a lot of the things that are enabling sacrifices here, but none of the actual combo pieces. Hero Fall. Probably not too many of those in there. Yeah, just one more.
The other side doesn't really have too many threats right now. Mustachemagic, Kagalichu powering.
See, what Cyriius is missing here is he needs Young Seer in the deck so he can reduce the cost of the Death Seeker to -1 and then have an infinite combo.
Ideas. Picking up another Well of Retribution. Here's Promiscuous Succubus. Kagalichu burying decks, trying to find some cool thing for Rotten Rancor. There's at least a Underworld Crusader. There's got to be some options now. Rotten Rancor targets a troop in your crypt, puts it into play, then it battles target opposing troop.
See, having Lackey, Succubus, and another troop on board is quite powerful. We see the Hierophant come off the top there for a draw, and we see the Rancor in hand. Either one is good here. Opts for the Rancor. Mistress of Bones coming back out. Mistress of Bones activating, bringing back the Hierophant. Pretty good. Pretty good turn.
Brings back a Shinhair, a Venom, and a Dwarf from your crypt when she enters play, and is a 5/7 flight.
Okay, Death Seeker is good. If we can... There's a lot that can be done here. The Succubus effect can go onto the Death Seeker, and then the Death Seeker can be sacrificed to the Centipede over and over. That was an interesting...
Is that 4 troops now?
Oh, he needed it for the... Okay. Smart. So this is really good. Like, sacrifice the Succubus, put that power onto Death Seeker, and then just keep replaying Death Seeker over and over again, getting 6/6 flyers all day long and every night, plus a couple of Blight Blossoms every time too. That seems pretty good to me. That seems like good value.
That can be done 3 more times this turn. Scrounging again, why not? Get some Rage 1 in there. Not to mention this giant centipede is going to be a 13/13 attacks. Will probably get blocked by a Battle Hopper.
Yeah, that centipede is something that probably needs to die here. Man, imagine if you get Blightbuck out here as well. Hoping for a Blightbuck next turn. Oh, the centipede! No!
Mustachemagic picks up a Hero Fall, plays Runir Hierophant.
Concedes, though. Wow.
I don't know. Do you have something to block the 3 Carnal Demons?
No, but, I mean... No. That's fair.
So that is Cyriius evening out the game 1-1. Mustachemagic will be on the play in this game 3 from round 4 of the HEX Bash. Both these players 3-0 at this match, and we get to see what the deck is trying to do. All right. This
All I'm
round
saying
4.
is, though, right? If that Deathseeker had -2 cost, you would have been able to do that infinitely for the... Just, you could have got 10,000 Carnal Demons out on the board. And, I mean, maybe you would have run out of time. But, you know, think about it.
All right. Players' hands have been kept.
They have indeed. We have a Hierophant up top, a Centipede, a Lackey, and another Hierophant. So good, solid cards for Cyriius here. And down the bottom we have Strangle, Hero Fall, and a Hierophant. So pretty good on both sides. Enough resources to do the things they want. No Necrotic on the top, which is worth noting. But, you know, most of the Necrotic are Diamond anyway. So no reason to have the Diamond just yet.
Starting resources out. Blood all around.
You see the cheap shot there. I wonder what that's for. See the Retribution here as well, so that's another way to get Diamond. Probably see the Lackey come down this turn. There it is. Crusade is quite a nice pickup too. No removal in Cyrius' hand, and plenty of it in Mustachemagic's hand. Actually opts for Hero Falling the sack outlet there. Just terrified of that combo getting online.
And of the sack outlets, that's probably the earliest threatening one. The Centipede isn't doing much damage by itself. But that doesn't mean Hierophants are in play.
Oh, come on, that's not fair.
Oh, but it is.
One Sagi Lilypad to hand from Kagalichu and a Gembomb Prowler in hand means that Runic Hierophant is probably not long for this world. It's what they're there for, so... There it goes. Another one though. Good thing about this is that he has the right sockets and thresholds to activate those sockets. So Gembomb Prowler actually quite a beast now. Another cheap shot to try and deal with the Deathseeker nonsense. I guess if you do it in response to the Plague Root or the Carnal Demon power, it's actually a pretty good counter.
And get you a 1-cost conscript Underworld troop. Not a bad upside. Pretty good one.
Yeah, and those things can be pretty good. So we see the Centipede here, and it can very much be taken out by cheap shot.
It's a little challenging though, because it can sacrifice a troop in response to get +2/+2.
That's true. It is true.
But at least forcing that now forces the Runic Hierophant to be sacrificed.
The mighty Shadowtail Rider comes to hand there.
So good timing on that.
Another cheap shot, another sacrifice.
I don't know about that second one.
Yeah, I guess it's Strangle does away with everything anyway. It was just to force the extra trade, I suppose.
Yeah, he could have survived the Strangle by double sacrificing. But But the question is, would Cyriius have sacrificed the 3/3 Abomination just to do that?
I think if you're going to use both cards to kill it, you Strangle first, right? That would have potentially got all of the troops. Maybe not.
Or none of them.
Or none of them, yeah. Well, apart from the Centipede itself. So, this is looking not 100% terrible. Uses the charge power there. I guess he knows he's got another resource in hand, so getting to 4 on that charge power isn't going to be super devastating. But, I mean, Mustachemagic has some really good cards in his hand. And he's already got a dominant board.
In-card Infuser. If he somehow got one of his opponent's diamond cards, he could in-card Infuser to turn it into a blood card and be able to play it.
That's true. Skyguard Steadfast on this Crusader. But killing that's a problem because both players are on such high health right now. So killing it just potentially improves the state of Kagalichu. But poor Vyazakan is there. Hero fall on the Crusader. Takes 2 from deck, and we see the -2, draw 2, and that's exactly why it's a problem, because those 2 cards, I think, are better than the Crusader that was there before.
Cyriius up to 7 resource can play both the Promiscuous Succubus and the Paw of Vyazakan. Does he have enough to scrounge for it, though? And if he did, what would he target? Probably the Gemborn Prowler. But the Gemborn Prowler has the double Deathcry gem.
Yeah, it does. It's going to pop out a 3/3 and a 1/1 anyway, so it's actually slightly worse now. I suppose you can chump the 1/1 easily enough.
No opposing socketed troop as a target for that just drawn Gemborn Prowler from Mustachemagic. But Rotten Rancor is a potential play. Kagalicha brings back a cheap shot. 15 cards, battling the Paw of Vyazakan with Mistress of Bones. That'll bring back a Hierophant.
So the problem here is that, you know, this Abomination has a bunch of Death Cries on it, sure. But it's not a Death Seeker. So it can only happen once.
The problem here is that the combo deck didn't find its combo.
Crusader is not a great draw with the Prowler in hand.
And with all the scrounge being used up on Paw of Vyazakan, even if Deathseeker were drawn, followed by any other combo piece, not enough scrounge for that. No sack outlet. Gemborn Prowler is revealed, voiding the Underworld Crusader. No card draw to even attempt to find a combo piece, even with that charge power 1 charge away. No. Mustachemagic will hold out against the combo deck from Cyriius, 2-1. We got to see that sweet combo in game 2, though.
Yeah, that's true. It was pretty funky stuff. I can definitely understand why it's 3-0. You know, if you run hot with that kind of deck, it's hard to lose. It's hard to be beaten if you're hitting that combo every time, because you know most decks just can't. I mean, most decks can't deal with a card that can recur like that, because killing it doesn't work. You know, transforming it doesn't work if you have a sack outlet there that you can just sacrifice it off in response to the transform. So, short of somehow interrupting it, I guess there's no way to get rid of that Death Seeker once it's going, if there is a sack outlet on the board.